Hello everyone, this is SARULATha. In this video we are going to talk about the computer programming and the types of programming language. First of all, a computer is a general purpose machine which can perform any computational task. Now the modern day computers that we have, they can perform billions and trillions of calculation within a fraction of second. Now the thing, these computers cannot really do anything on their own. So for a computer to do something, one has to give the instruction to it, and this instruction will contain step by step information to perform a specific task, and these instructions are called as a program. Now the person who is going to write this instruction or the program is called as the programmer, and here the programmer will write the instruction or the program, and the computer will execute that, or computer will work on the instructions. Okay, the computers that we have, they contain a lot of programs in them. There are some programs which will manage the computer hardware resources, and they are called as the system programs. And there are some programs which will provide the specific functionality to a user. For example, the notepad, web browser, music player, video player, and all these types of programs are called as the application program. We know that we need to give the instruction to the computer so that computer can work on it in the following instruction. Now the thing is how we can give the instruction to the computer, or in which language we can give the instruction to the computer. These computers is a machine. How we can communicate with this machine? Now the language in which these instructions are written or the language in which this program is written is called as the programming language. Now there are several types of programming languages, and we are going to see the details about them. Now you guys may probably hear that computers can only understand the binary language. Now this binary language has only two values, that is 0 and 1. So in this binary language, whatever you want to say has to be in the form of this 0 and 1. Now here these computers are built in such a way that they can understand or they can recognize the pattern of zeros and ones, and then they can work on it accordingly. Now why we have built the computers to understand this binary language? That is because of this binary language, which has only two values, is easy to create in the hardware level. For example, if we have a wire, and if the current is flowing through this wire, then we can say it is 1. If the current is not flowing, then we can say it 0. So in general, we can say that 1 stands for something which exists and 0 stands for something which does not exist. So this binary language is easy to create in the hardware level. So the computer is built in the hardware level to recognize this pattern of 0 and 1 and 1. And while in building the computer for a specific pattern of 0 and 1, a specific step operation are defined. So when the computer will see a specific pattern of 0 and 1, it knows what it has to do. So now the computer can understand this binary language, and this binary language which computers understand are also called as a machine language. Now let's see the types of programming languages available here. In this modern day, we have a lot of programming languages available. So let's take a look at the types of programming languages. So the first type of programming languages, or the language in which we can communicate it with the computer is the language which the uh, which which the computer understands. So all of you know this, that is computers can understand this binary language or the machine language, which is combinations of zeros and ones. So the first type of programming language is a machine level language. And in this machine level language we have the instruction in the form of 0 and 1. So whatever you want to say has to be in the form of 0 and 1. The computer are built in a such way that they can recognize this zeros and ones and perform some specific operation on that combinations of 0 and 1. You know, we can communicate with his computer in this knowledge. Now the problem with this machine level language is, in order to program in this machine level language, one has to know everything about the computer. So here the programmer is directly dealing with the hardware level. So he is directly working on the memory and the data. So the programmer needs so the programmer needs to know everything about the computer process and the computer architecture, everything about that that he has know. And that's why this machine language is a bit difficult to learn. And also think about this let's say you want to write a program in a machine level language. You are or you want to give an instruction to the computer in the machine level language, and your program consists of 1,000 lines. All your instruction will contain this 0 and 1, and this combinations of the zeros and ones. First of all, it is the difficult to write the program, and also if you have if you make some mistakes in your program, then it is difficult to spot the errors. And all this a normal guy and a normal person that cannot really learn the programming languages easily. So to solve this kind of problems, another type of programming languages were invented, and they are called as the assembly level language. In this assembly level language, instead of that zeros and ones, combination of mnemonic and the symbolic codes were introduced. Okay, for example, if the programmer has to write an instructions, let's say he wants to add the number 5 and 6, then in the machine level language it has to be in the form of the zeros and ones. So let's say to the instruction to add the number 5 and 6. So in the machine level language it will look like this, but in the machine level language in the machine level language has to be the zeros and ones. So the number will be added 5 and 6 is it's transferred to the bit 0 and 1. And the assembly level language mnemonic codes for used, the programmer could write ADD 5 6. Okay, it is to add the 5 and 6. So a lot of mnemonic or the symbolic codes were used. The programmer could write the program in this way. So it was a more human readable format, and the programmer can understand the code just by looking at it, and it was easier to code than the machine level language. So now the thing is, the source code of the programmer written in this assembly level language by using this mnemonic, that is add, and then I will subtract some 5 and 6. So SUB 6 minus 6 and 5. For this add and sub is a mnemonic words. In this, mnemonic or the symbolic symbol codes cannot be directly executed in this computer. That is, this computer can only understand the machine language. So what we have to do is we have to convert the code which is the written in the assembly level language to machine language, so that the computer can understand it and execute it. So the programmer written in the assembly level language needs to be converted to the machine level language, and to convert that program was to used, and the programmers called as the assembler. So this assembler will convert the code written in the assembly level language to machine level language. Now this assembly level language was lot or more easy to learn, and someone can learn the programming a lot and more easily than the machine level language. But this assembly level language also had the same difficulties. It was easy to write the programs than the machine level language in assembly level language. If the program sizes increases, then again it is difficult to spot the errors, and also code written in assembly level language was also computer architecture dependent. So the code written for one type of computer, it cannot be executed in another type of computer which has different architectures. So again, to solve these kinds of problems, new types of languages were invented. So that a lot or more peoples can come and write the programs. The type of programming language are called the higher level programming language. That is high level languages. It is designed in such a way that they are very easy for a beginner to learn, and they were very close to human readable languages. For example, in this higher level language, one could write the instruction that is add. We know that we previously see that add 5 and 6. So here in this higher level language, we try to the instruction that is add 5 and 6 like this. So this is 5 plus 6. It's so more similar to the human language. So just by looking at the code, one can understand that we are trying to do. And this higher level languages were a lot easy to learn, and many people started learning computer programming and started creating more programs. Okay, now again the thing is, a program written in the higher level language cannot be directly executed in the computer, because the computer can only understand the machine level language, that is, which can contain the 0 and 1. But the higher level language is very close to the human languages. So we have to convert the program which is written in the high level language to machine level language, which the computer can understand and it executed. So for this high level languages, there are two ways in which we can convert the source code from high level language to machine level language, and it executed. And the two methods which were used to convert the high level language program to machine level language. So one was the compilation method, where a program called the compiler, and this is a compilation method, and then another method is called as the interpretation. And for this interpretation method is another type of program called as the interpreter was used, and the compilations. Okay, and we will see the details of this compilation and interpretation method a bit later. But here just remember that these are two different methods. What they do in this, they converted the program which is written the high level language to machine level language, because the computer can understand it and execute it. Now here this machine level language and the assembly level language, they are called as the lower level language, because while writing the program in this machine and the assembly level language, the programmers could easily access the computer memory and directly work with the data. But with the most of this high level languages, the programmers cannot directly access the memory and work with the data. But there are some languages in high level languages type which allow the programmer to work with the computer memory and the data, and they are called the middle level language. And this middle level language, they provide all features of the higher level languages, and also they allow the programmer to work with the computer memory and the data directly. And these languages provide the features of lower level languages and also the high level languages. They are called as the middle level language. And we have the languages like C and C++. These are all the middle level languages, because allow the programmer to work with the computer memory and the data, and also they provide the all features of high level languages. And in the high level languages we have Java, C#, Python, etc. This machine level languages which is very close to machine, or this languages the computer directly understand. It executes much faster than all these languages. So the execution speed of this machine language is very high. And after this machine level language, we have the assembly level languages, and their execution speed is better than the higher level language, but a bit slower than the machine level language. And then we have the high level languages. Okay, I hope it's very useful for it. So now, as I said, before in this high level languages we can convert the code from higher level languages to machine level languages in two different ways. One is the compilation method and another one is the interpretation method. Let's see the compilation and interpretation method in detail. So first see the compilation. In the compilation method, a program called compiler is used, and this compiler will take the high level language program and it will be converted that to the machine language, and this process is called as the compilation method. And here what happens in this compiler will read the high level language program. Let's say this high level language program, it will read this program, and it will convert that to the machine language. It will convert this entire program into machine language, and this machine language code will be executed. So the thing is, compiler will convert entire program which is written in the high level languages to machine level language, and then that machine level language code will be executed. Now let's take a look at this interpretation method. So here also we will converting the program written in the high level language to machine level language, and then it's executed. For that purpose we will using a program called as the interpreter, and this process is called the interpretation. So the process of converting the high level language program to machine language by using the program interpreter is called as the interpretation method. Now here what happens is, let's say this source code or the programs written in high level language, and this interpreter what it does is first, that is, it will read the first line of the source code or the program which is in the high level language, and then it converted that to be machine code, and it will be executed immediately. And it will go to the next line of the high level language program. It will be readed, and it will be converted that code, and then it will execute it immediately. And after that second line it will go to the third line, and then again it converted that code, and then it will executed immediately. So in the compilation process, the entire program which was written in the high level language was read first, then it was converted to the machine level language, and then that entire program was executed at once. But which the interpretation method, interpreter will read the program which is in the high level language line by line. It will converted and it each and executed each line immediately at a time. This is how the compiler and interpreted work. Now there are many languages in the high level language language type, and in that languages some follow the compilation method and some follow the interpretation method. The languages which follow the compilation method are called as the compiled languages. And for example, we have the C, C++, etc. These are all compiled languages where the compilation method is used to convert the program which is written in these languages to the machine language. And the higher level languages which follow the interpretation method are called as the interpreted languages. For example, we have Python, and this Python is an interpreted language. Okay. Okay, this is about the computers and computer programming and types of programming languages, compilation and interpretation method. And I really hope that you have learned something from this video. And if you like this video, subscribe to our channel if you want to watch more video like this. And if you subscribe to our channel, then when I upload a new video, you will get a notification immediately. So thank you for watching this video. Thank you. I will see the next video.